How's it going, guys? So I just wanted to announce the winners of last week's giveaway. We had 4 winners of 25 item lots, and the first one is Dusty Shelves. Second one is I Buy Chit. And the next one is Mythics X Skills. And then I don't want to butcher the name, but it's Kauai Newberry. So I already sent those people a comment on there. I'm telling them to email me. If you guys are watching this, email me, send me your full name and address, and we'll get you those 25 item lots. We're going to be doing 2 25 item lot giveaways every single week, just so it can be consistent. And we can actually be, doing this pretty much forever. So also, if you guys are new, consider subscribing. If you're not already subscribed, please drive a like. This content that we're putting on here right now is free. So if you guys could just like and comment. If you comment, you're already entered to win for the next giveaway. All you have to do is 3 eagle emojis, and that's it. So yeah, let's get into the podcast. How's it going, guys? Welcome to the LOWBALL Kingz podcast. This is episode 5. Today's topic is actually why people fail on eBay. So yeah, guys, last episode we covered the 6 ways on how to be successful. Now we're going to cover like 6 or 7 ways on how to fail on eBay. And the first one, which one do you have, Collin? So we can start off with what you got.
All right. So the first thing that I have is not willing to do boring tasks over and over again, because in the beginning it's all new, but after a while you're basically doing the same few things over and over and over again, which is shipping, listing, messages, offers. It's just over and over and over again. It's not. The only thing that might get exciting is sourcing, really.
Yeah.
But in terms of the meat of eBay, it's basically just list, ship, answer. And that's pretty much it on repeat.
Pretty much it.
And that can get pretty boring.
And it's like this podcast or YouTube. I always said it, or I was telling you, I was like, dude, I was second guessing myself on my own channel. And I'm at 70 something videos now. And I was like, dude, I don't think I'll get bored of talking about eBay, but people are going to get bored of watching it, because it's pretty much the same thing. How much funner can I make it? How much at a certain point I'm going to give them all the information I know. Like, why are they going to watch it? But then I watch other YouTubers that have like 1,000 videos, 500 videos of the same kind of stuff. And without, going outside the box, not sourcing or not showing what's sold, stuff like that. I'm getting ideas on my personal videos from like 10 YouTubers, and I'm making my own. But eBay isn't like a fun thing to cut to the chase. So it's something that you kind of have to find your way to make it fun. But it's really boring in terms of what the actual things you have to do.
Yeah, just like your videos, like it might feel boring to you when you're making the videos, but there's always going to be a new person on YouTube that's going to enjoy your videos. Even if you've already made something similar to your old videos, there's always going to be someone that's going to enjoy your new one. Just like if you're posting the same item for the millionth time, there's always going to be someone that might need that item, especially if it's a common item.
Yeah.
So it's really just about putting the reps in over time.
It's just repetition. It's like Stephen Curry isn't going to get tired of after shooting 100,000, or is not going to get bored of it. It's just another 3-pointer for him type deal.
Yeah.
It's just another day in the office. And you kind of have to fall in love with the process of what eBay is in order to be able to do it. Because if you don't like it, it's just like with anything. If you don't like this shit, like, part of my cussing. But it's, if you don't like it, you're not gonna be able to do it in the long term, because you can't just be doing something for the money.
Yeah, that's why like I do my listing process the way that I do it, and you do it your way. It's because we both enjoy the way that we do it, and so. It's about doing a boring task over and over again, but trying to make it so that you can enjoy it in some way. Like, that's why I have my workers in place, so that they can take some of the parts that I don't like that much, and they can do those, and I can do the parts that I like. And that's how I've been able to do it for the past couple of years. Because if I was doing it my old way, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I would have been able to go on this run that I'm on right now. I really don't know. And not only doing the boring task, but you also have to work on making the boring task more efficient, making it quicker. And over time, if you're doing that, I don't see how you could fail.
Yeah. It's just repetition and over time adding more and making it quicker. That's how you grow on eBay. So I think the second thing that I had an issue with some people that bought off the website or just that I've seen is that some people, they have like a business model when it comes to eBay, and they're like, oh, I'm only listing items that go for 40 when they're starting off or something, and they're like, they don't have any kind of leverage.
They
and
just
that's
have some kind of strict like.
they
rule.
just for some reason have a strict guideline of okay, only 40, and I think you're really kind of like setting yourself short, because how many like items can you get that are just 40?
Like $40 selling price.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
Like, it's obviously we get a shit ton,
yeah,
but we don't make that like a goal to only get the 40s.
Yeah, you gotta in the beginning. You gotta take what you can get, especially like in your case, if you're sending someone items in the mail and all they gotta do is just open up their front door and take the items, then they have to take what they can get. And if they don't like it, then they just don't buy anymore.
Listen, I like especially with the website, I appreciate everyone that buys, but let's be real. Like, I think some of the people that are buying off me, could be a little bit lazy because they could be going out. Someone is out here telling me that they can't find stuff like in a certain state. I'm not gonna say which state, but I know for a fact there's a lot of YouTubers that are in there making hundreds of thousands a year doing eBay in that same state. How come they can find all this stuff?
Are they selling electronics?
No, it's just clothing. But he doesn't like. Exactly though. It's Florida.
Yeah.
So Florida, it's a monster state.
Yeah, they have clothing. Everyone has clothing.
Dude, over there. It's the other side. It's like California, but just I think it's more on steroids.
Yeah.
But so it's a monster state when it comes to that, and there's tons of people that are doing it over there. So and that person's just saying that they can't find nothing. And I think they can't find nothing is because they're only sticking to only 40.
Yeah, that's what I used to think too. Back when I didn't have many items, I used to think, man, it's just dry. Like, it's just dry. But now that I think about it, at this stage,
you can find anything anywhere.
If you go to any place in the world, they wear clothing, and at some point, that clothing is going to get passed down, and it's up to you to find where you can intersect and get that piece. Just like electronics, everyone has electronics, unless you're like in a really poor place, maybe you don't. But for the most part, in the United States, there's electronics everywhere. Yeah. And at some point, they're going to be passed down. They're going to be given away. They're going to be sold, and it's up to you to figure out how you can get intersect yourself into that process. Yeah.
But yeah, I think people just, hold themselves to a certain, like, they put themselves in a box. In the beginning, honestly, you shouldn't even niche down all the way. Obviously, you should, like, try to just focus on electronics or shoes or clothing, whatever it is you're trying to do.
I agree.
But you shouldn't put yourself in an extreme box where it's, first of all, you niche yourself down to only that, but then you niche yourself down within the niche to only like a certain price. Yeah, that's you're like you're really limited. And then this person was like saying that they can't get that many electronics, but then the electronics they do get, they only want it to be 40. So it's like you're really holding yourself back at that point.
Yeah, I think what that guy needs to realize is that maybe the items he's getting, they all can't sell for 40, and he needs to decide whether he's making enough money for it to be worth it. And if he's not, then that would be up to him to negotiate with you and say, hey, these current items that I got aren't making me money. Can you lower the price? Blah, blah, blah. If that was the case.
And that's the thing. Let's say their ratio they wanted was $8 into 40. Okay, what if you do $3? Yeah, well, anyways, like, they want that ratio, right?
Yeah.
What if they paid 3 or 4 into 20? It's actually the same thing in terms of ratio. You just got to push more volume.
Yeah.
But they just can't seem to get to see it that way. Yeah. We're not doing business no more.
Yeah, no,
I'm just ratio, trying to deal with that.
Yeah, that ratio is like, it's achievable, but also for that kind of consistent ratio, you got to be putting in work somewhere. You can't just get them in the mail.
You can't just call a guy that you met through YouTube and find him. Like, I can't do that for someone.
How would you be able to get the items that cheap and sell
them and make a profit and supply
to them? He has that much room for profit after you just went out and sourced them?
Yeah, there's no way.
It doesn't make sense.
Even getting stuff that for 4 and giving them, then it sells for 20, like, and you're not doing free shipping. Like, I'm still doing like a lot of the work, and all they're doing is clicking buy. Like, even on the website, and that's pretty much what I do. Like 270 into 15 to 23, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like that's the best I could possibly do for someone.
Yeah, even when I was, I tried a few places to buy a couple websites. What I noticed is their profit margins are usually between about 5% all the way down to like negative 20%.
Damn.
So, like, if you're gonna go online and buy something, you have to understand that somebody is selling these items and they've already put in the work to gather all of them for you and send them to you in the mail. So the profit margins are not going to be the same as if you go out and get them. That's just not possible.
Compared to if you work for 3 years building connections and you just get the straight plug.
Yeah.
How we did.
Yeah.
We're making the most possible profit because we've put in the work.
Yeah.
If I was just buying off someone online, I know that my profit margins aren't going to be that good. Yeah. Like that website that you were buying off of, it's just not the same because anyone could just go and buy them. Yeah. You're just getting the shortcut at that point. But obviously, like some people don't mind the smaller percentage profit margin. Some people
Some people like to fluff up their sales and make it look good, and that's what that's about. Because I go on that website still just to check, and everything is selling for thousands. Yeah. It'll be 500-piece lot, thousands.
And you can't go too far in a normal business environment. A 10% profit. In some businesses, they're like extremely happy with that.
Yeah.
Most businesses are actually really happy with like a 10 to 15%.
Yeah.
So obviously with eBay though, like you really want to be getting a little more. But that goes kind of with the 70-30 rule too. Like if you're paying 3 and it goes for 20, but you know after everything, fees and all that, it's like 12 or 13 or whatever. Like it's still pretty good. But that's like to add on top of what. Yeah, we encourage people to get the good items too on the side. It's for the baseline to pay the bills.
Yeah,
and the sugar on top is the item that you paid $3 for that goes for $200. Yeah. But you can't get those all the time. Like you can't base.
Yeah, we both used to restrict ourselves too. We only wanted those items that we could make that certain amount of profit on. We wouldn't even look at the other ones.
Yeah, and that's why we would only be able to walk. Sometimes we wouldn't even buy anything because we were restricted on. Yeah. Only those kind of items, which we still made good money. Yeah, but we would have never been able to reach that next level if we didn't just accept more stuff.
Yeah. You know, I remember there was so many times back in the day where I'd come home with nothing, and now that I think about it, there's probably stuff I could have bought, but it was really just up to me to negotiate with whoever was selling to sell it to me at the right price. Really. Yeah, and if they didn't agree, then maybe I wouldn't come home with nothing, but. I could have made something happen probably in those days.
It's like remember when I just started bulk buying like last year in San Jose? Yeah, I realized that honestly you can get stuff anywhere. Well, San Jose's on steroids though. But, but yeah, I was like, dude, honestly you can just go anywhere. You can get something. It might not be like that monster stuff, but you can always walk away with something at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what's the next thing that you think? Why people fail, you know?
The next thing that I think is in order to be successful on eBay, you have to be able to adapt. Yeah. And I mean, that's basically anything that you want to do that's above and beyond in life. But in eBay, you have to be able to adapt because there's going to be a lot of things, especially in the beginning, that a regular person is just not going to know. Like, first, you're going to need to know how to list the item, blah, 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 all that stuff. But then you're going to come across little things such as like your printer not working properly. You can't just give up. You got to figure that out. There's going to be restrictions on your account. You can't just give up. I remember at one point I was ready to give up. Remember?
I was right there.
I had like a limit on my account of like $1,000 a month or something. And what did I do? Honestly, I just kept my foot on the gas.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of little things, even restrictions placed on your account. You're going to get Veros. You're going to get those. You're going to get complaints from buyers, and some people that's going to get to their head. I've seen so many people, even on my channel, they comment about how eBay is just, it's dead because like they don't care about their sellers and all that. But I mean, eBay does care about their sellers because they're making money from their sellers. That's where they make all their money. They make the percentage there.
They just want to hold people to a standard so that they make the rip. eBay is a good rip. Yeah.
Yeah.
But going back to that thing where you said we almost gave up. I literally got to the point. Remember when I think I got my 90-day total in the garage to like 38. And at the time, we were breaking speed records. Me and you were like, oh,
Yeah.
all around us, we were like fucking leaving people in the dust.
Yeah.
And I remember dude, I wasn't even looking. I wasn't even thinking about account health. None of that, bro.
Yeah.
I was just listing, buying items, shipping them. That was it. And it turns out I got to the point where I got 8 defects. And I went from having all that product moving almost at like, I was like at 15 a month in the garage. At the time, that was just insane for us, bro.
Yeah.
I had just quit my job in Texas. We're like 4 months in. And my account got destroyed. My limit went to 5,000 a month to list. But if you list 5,000 a month, you're only going to make like 2 or 3.
Yeah, doesn't leave room.
But I wasn't even listing at all. At that point, we started doing the yard sale stuff, remember? And I just started selling my stuff. And then I had just gotten rid of the Mustang. And then I got like the Prius. And then I sold the Prius. And remember, I didn't even have a car.
Yeah.
And I was just like, damn. But I was holding on.
Scooter days.
I was in a scooter every day. And since I was making money no more, that was the move. Because I had like 5,000-6,000 right there ready to go. But I didn't want to blow it because I was like, dude, I only have like an income now. And I was like, what the hell am I going to do? Like, this is all the money I have. I can't even buy a car because then I'm not going to have no money. So I remember what I was doing. I was just listing like the 5,000 a month. I was just filling it up with cheaper hella cheap items. So it'd be volume to fight the defects because it goes by percentage. So I was just filling that up. I remember I was buying dollar items. I'd go and just dollar, take them home, sell them for 10. But it was just cheap. And then I worked my way out of that, and it took 3 months. And that happened like in September, late September. And by like January, my limit went up to like 15. And then like a month later, it went up to 30, and then 60. And then by like March, I got the warehouse. And then, it went from there and there.
Yeah.
But
you had the option to.
I got a job offer with at the dealership, remember?
Yeah.
And it was, oh, dude, it's gonna be 10,000 a month just by showing up, selling a few cars. And I was thinking about that, but then I remember I was like this close. I remember I was gonna go to the interview. I remember I told you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I remember I didn't have like an ID or something. I even told my parents, oh yeah, I need to go get my ID. Can you take me? I was this close, but then I was like, nah, you know what? Like, I don't want to go back to the fucking job.
Yeah.
But it got to the point where it was like, damn, I'm really about to get booted. And I could have got booted if I wasn't willing to overcome an obstacle. And that's what it was. And for the most part, most people learn the hard way, honestly. Most people do learn the hard way.
And the thing about, like, all that stuff you had to go through, you adapted to your situation. And all those little things you had to go through, they're like little tools you add to your tool belt, because now all those things that you had to learn, you know it already.
Yeah.
Whereas someone that didn't go through all that, they don't know any of that. And that's basically what separates like you and me from another reseller that maybe isn't doing as good or he doesn't have as much. It's just those little things that we've overcome, really.
Yeah. And I saw this quote. It was pretty good. It's if you don't fail, you're not even trying.
Yeah.
And I think that's obviously some people just fail just because they fail. But like another example, I was actually at the point where I wasn't even trying, but I was in school in Oklahoma and I failed a class. And I remember some of my classmates were like, oh, dude, I would have just quit if I were you. This and that. Like, I got some shit for that. And in my head, too, I was like, dude, am I going to go home? I was like, nah, I can't quit. If you don't quit, you can't lose.
Yeah.
And I remember I stuck through it. I retook the class. And I remember I was all depressed and a bunch of other stuff happened. And I overcame it. And then I ended up passing the test to get a promotion in that field faster than the other guys that were making fun of me, saying that I should have quit. But you have to go through stuff in order to grow.
Yeah, and if you're having hardships on eBay and you're trying to talk to somebody about it, that's not a reseller.
They're just gonna tell you
and you're like, yeah, I'm an eBay reseller. I'm having these. They're gonna see you like a little dork. They're gonna be like, dude, get a real job.
Yeah.
So that's another thing is it's hard to, when you have an issue on eBay, you can't really talk to somebody that doesn't do eBay about it because they're not going to understand and they're probably just going to be thinking, why doesn't this guy get a real job?
Yeah.
That's what they're gonna be thinking.
The hell is he going through all that trouble for?
Yeah.
Just to have a $5,000 limit. You know?
Selling a couple broken Xboxes on eBay.
Yeah, bro. At that point, if I would have told like some girl what I was doing or like a homeboy, I was like, yeah, bro, like right now I just got a scooter and this and that.
Yeah.
You know? They would have been like, dude, what the hell are you doing then? Just get a job. The dealership's right there, $10,000 a month. Yeah. You know? Quick like that. Yeah. And oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, because I had my homeboy is a manager, so that would have been quick. If I would have told anyone and I would have just listened to them, they would have just told me to go to the dealership.
Yeah, part of adapting is knowing who to listen to and knowing who to tell your issues to. Because
if you wouldn't trade places with the person that's giving you advice, you obviously there's a certain situation, but you shouldn't take advice from them, honestly.
Yeah, for real.
If someone's just working a normal job and they're telling me what to do, like, no, I'm not going to listen, honestly. Yeah. Like, I'll consider the advice, and then I'll make my own decision, but you can't listen too much to them.
Yeah, for real. All right, what's the next one you got?
So the next one I have is people are too stingy with their prices. Sometimes you got to let stuff fly. Like, in terms of, sometimes I know I can get 180 for something, but if I list it within the day and I get like a 140 offer, I'm gonna let that shit fly.
Yeah.
Because I've been at the point so many times where I was like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna hold on to it. Or like my dad was like, oh no, just hold on to it. You just posted it. But then I hold on to it and then I never get a damn offer again.
Yeah.
But some items are extremely quick. I just listed some cameras for 170 and I just got a 140 offer and I let it fly. And but then like now we're posting it and I got like a good amount of them. But honestly, like I just want to get this moving.
Yeah, get it moving, get the quick money, reinvest it. Because usually the sellers that are taking the most offers are probably making the most money, honestly.
Yeah.
And also, like, there's been so many times where I've had like $100 item, I get an offer for like $50, I decline it, and then a year goes by, I never get another offer on that item, and then I'm just like, dang, man, why did I do that?
Oh, dude, here's a perfect example. I had a espresso machine, I had it for $700. I thought it was, oh, dude, this because it's 1,000 pre-owned, but it's missing a lot of key components.
So that's a rare buyer right there who's gonna be willing to take it. Like
that. So this dude, like as soon as I posted it, he was, hey man, it's missing a bunch of stuff. You know, I'll take it for 180. And I was like, but I actually found that in the trash. It was free. But I was like, nah, man, I was like, give me 500. I was like, give me 500, bro. And he was like, oh no, I can't do that. It's way too high. It's missing like that much in it's gonna cost me that much to like get the pieces, whatever.
What was his offer?
180.
Oh, 180.
But I found it in the trash.
Okay, yeah.
Dude, tell me why a month and a half went by and I still had it, and I was like, and I kept getting like $50 offers. I was like, and I dropped it to 300.
What brand was that one? Gaggia?
Yeah, that Gaggia one. Yeah, dude, and I ended up letting it go for $100 plus the shipping, bro.
Okay, so
it's just like that. It's
you
like
still did okay, but you could have basically made double of that.
Yeah.
Almost. Yeah. No,
that is what it did. Sometimes it happens, but now I'm at the point where if it's a decent offer, and it also depends on how much you pay for the item. Yeah. If I would have paid $100 for that damn coffee machine, I'm not gonna let it go for $100.
Yeah, you know? that goes with moving the items quickly and understanding that eBay is people. When you go on eBay, you're looking to get a good deal on something. You're not trying to buy it for what it goes for in the store. You're trying to get a good deal, and when you do get a good deal, you're gonna remember who sold you that, and you're gonna probably go back to the store for more at some point.
Yeah.
So when you give out a good deal, you're basically doing what eBay wants you to do. That's what it's for. It's to give out good deals, and you're probably gonna get a returning customer too. So
sell quality product at a quality price. Yeah. I try to give better prices than anyone else because let's face it, we can with how much we buy and the profit margins we get.
Yeah.
But obviously there's sometimes like those jackets that you were trying on yesterday.
Yeah.
I was thinking I was gonna get like 200, which I sold it for 170, but it's been a month.
Okay.
But I paid probably like $70 for them.
Okay.
So obviously it was like 100 profit, but not really. It's more like 70 profit.
Yeah.
But I thought I was gonna make more on it. But at that point, I think I let it go for 140, and with everything it was 170 with shipping and all.
Yeah.
But like, it was way less. I let it go way cheaper just to get it moving already. It was been a month.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna wait to get my 200. I just let it go for 140. Gave him a hell of a good deal. Merry Christmas. And it is what it is. Just move on. I got some money out of it. Just move on.
Yeah. Lately, what I've been doing is if I'm about to hit decline, first I ask myself, all right, is this offer way too low? If I already know it is, then I'll just decline it. But if I'm like, I'm not really sure because I don't have like, this is like if it's like a strange, unique item, I'll just look it up and I'll see exactly what it's going for recently on the solds. And so if the offer is somewhere in the ballpark, then I'll accept it. Because a lot of times on, some of the strange items we have, if someone sends a weird offer, it might be a decent offer, but it might look bad because our initial price might be really high.
Yeah.
And we don't even know it.
Remember those things that you had in that big old box that you threw away? And I was like, oh, and the other day in your warehouse, when I stopped by and you threw it, and I was like, oh, let me see those. Because I thought it was a similar item. It's like a breathing component thing.
Mm-hmm.
I had those listed for 900, a lot of 4, and they're actually like, if those lot of 4 were pre-owned, they would have been like 1,600, but I posted them for 900 for parts. But like, I think I had them up for like 6 months, and someone offered me 400. So I just let him go. Like, I'm not gonna wait, bruh.
Yeah.
That wasn't like a fast moving item, and it was what it was.
Yeah.
Like some people will be like, oh no, they're 1,600 pre-owned. I'm already asking 900. It's already like half off, and they could possibly still work. Nah, bro. Like, give me the 4, bro.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Honestly,
I got those super cheap.
Yeah. If an item's been sitting for 4, 5, 6 months, then either you need to take a low offer on it, or it's just priced too high, or something.
You can actually sell anything on eBay. The main reason why it doesn't sell is the price.
That's true.
If it's priced correctly, it's gonna sell.
Yeah.
If it's up for $1 and it doesn't sell, then obviously you just gotta take that. You gotta take it off and throw it in the trash.
Yeah. Unless
take it to the flea market or something.
Yeah. Unless it's like a certain item that just doesn't have a lot of buyers.
But obviously, but even if it's really cheap, it's gonna fly.
Yeah, like I'm more strict on a common item like a PS4 controller. I'm more strict on my price on that than something like a vintage receiver or something like that.
Yeah,
on a vintage receiver, I'll take an offer, but on a PS4 controller, I'll take an offer, but it has to be reasonable. I'm not just gonna let that go because somebody else will buy it.
It's a quick There's certain items that honestly you can be picky, and there's gonna be a buyer no matter what. But there's certain items like this, most of the items that we get, they're not like that. Let's be honest. We don't get like brand new stuff. We don't get like we do get speakers and headphones and Beats and stuff like that, but that's not like our main store. Our main store is like more the kind of vintage receivers that aren't common. Like when people here locally, like they have on Instagram, like the homeboys or something, they're like, "Hey, bro, let me go to your store and buy a bunch of stuff." I'm like, bro, like honestly, you're not gonna want to buy nothing here, bro. Yeah. Like it's just it's not that kind of store.
And a lot of times, we don't have power cables for everything. So it's just like, if someone asks you in person.
And usually, like in person, they're trying to buy it all together. It could be working, but as soon as I'll have a speaker that takes like a 12 volt, and they'll be like, "Oh, does that have the cable?" I'm like, "Oh no, but you can just buy the 12 volt, but it works. Like it powers on right now." I was like, "Oh, dude, but I don't have the charger. I'm not trying to order that."
Yeah.
They just won't buy it. On eBay, they'll be like, "Oh, I just ordered one."
Yeah.
And they're way more cool on eBay when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like a Dyson vacuum, if you have it complete, but bro, I have it complete with the tubes and the head part and everything. I just don't have the charger.
Yeah.
They're just not gonna buy it here locally, bro. It's not gonna happen.
And that goes with accepting more offers because if you don't have a certain part of your item, like for electronics, if you don't have the charger or something, somebody else is gonna have that. So you got to understand that. Like someone would rather just get it all together than buy yours and buy the part separately.
So that way it's just sell it cheaper.
Yeah.
There's what it is.
Yeah. And
that's a good way to get it cheaper as well because you can point it out to the person you're buying to. Like, it doesn't even have the charger. I have to order it and those are like $50. You gotta kind of, whine a little bit.
Yeah.
And like make it seem worse than what it is.
Yeah.
To get a good deal. It is what it is. We got to barter. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Barter Kingz.
If you guys enjoyed that clip,
There's actually a show called
podcast, consider subscribing. We are uploading 30-minute segments every single Wednesday, and we are uploading clips on here every single week. If you guys want to listen to the full-length podcast, it is down below on the Patreon, and we're going to catch you guys later.